When I was creating this overview tutorial, I made all thistles in blue shades. But for this project, I chose very meaningful colors, sky blue and bright yellow. I didn't have any yellow glass beads, so I went to the local shop and found these. Let's make it work. For the project we will need base cotton, viscose thread for the tassel, satin ribbons, and the cotton threads which will match those, glass beads, thin needle, sharp scissors, and craft tweezers. Personally, I prefer the MC cotton floss. If we compare it with other brands, it is relatively more strong. Fiber tassels can nicely imitate flower top. You can use a ready-made tassel or create your own. I recommend making 2 small tassels to minimize the thickness of the surface. I will make the tassels from viscose thread with a simple rectangular cardboard blank. There are 2 small recesses on the blank which prevent threads from sliding out of the place during winding. This blank can be used for both creating a long tassel or 2 small tassels. When I collect enough of volume with thread loops, I attach them together with a strong thread. It is easier to use 2 strands and fix the first stitch with a loop. When the middle of the tassels is secured from both sides of the blank, I cut the viscose loops from the sides. Next, I fold a bunch of loops in half and secure the tassel in the place with a strong thread. I stitch through the tassel to keep fibers from shifting. After that, we can cut excess fibers and have a neat tassel. sew both tassels with a strong thread in the center of the hoop. Now we have a small jump on the surface. To eliminate it, I will add a small piece of soft felt. The next layer felt piece will shape the flower bud. This element looks like a drop with a cut-off top. In the overview tutorial, I'm using this detail for the most types of thistle. If you are interested in other thistle variations, check the link below. I wrote a beautiful ebook where I described 5 different variations. Let's compare our tassels with the ready-made ones. You can see how much volume each of them adds to the surface. I recommend using these only for pedant type thistle. In the full ebook about the thistle, I show how to create pendant with this kind of tassel. It is time to prepare elements from thin 3mm satin ribbon. I cut ribbon on pieces with 1.5 to 2 cm length. Each element I treat with fire to melt the edge and give it a pointy leaf-like shape. It is better to hold element from the side from the flame. If you apply element from above, it may darken, and it would be also hard to control the shape. When you hold the ribbon near the flame, you will notice that the edge changes its structure and begins to melt. At that moment, smooth the edges with fingers and fold the single edge to the back side of the element. If you leave the melted edge on the front, the element will look rough. I use DMC color map to choose the most fitting color to the ribbon. Matching color will help us to blend the stitches with fibers of the ribbon. Most of my projects do not have a big consumption of threads. This is why I prefer to store my threads on bobbins connected with a metal ring. Each ring has its own map. Now I start attaching the ribbon elements over the tassels. I recommend to start from the edge and overlap the subsequent elements towards the center. I start with darker shade of yellow and put the bright yellow in the center. I prefer sewing ribbon elements with single strand DMC thread and sharp, thin needle. Thick needle may leave holes on the surface of the ribbon. When I finish covering tassels with the first row of elements, I start adding elements on the sides. I choose the elements which have right curve for the left and vice versa. This will help to create a good frame for the following beadwork. I started working on this overview tutorial back in 2021, and it took me a long time to prepare all step-by-step pictures and instructions. The main idea of the tutorial was to show how to make 3D thistles in different techniques. In 4 of the types, I combined ribbon elements with cotton threads, or beads, or sequins, or chenille. Each version is available in a mini-book version, which you can find in the links below. When I add darker shade of yellow on the edge, I enhance the 3D effect of the embroidery. Lighter ribbon elements form the highest part of the flower calyx. For the attachment of the glass beads, I highly recommend switching to a strong thread. For example, you can use Fireline or Toho 1G thread. It will help tightening the thread when sewing with the least risk of rupture. I have glass beads in different sizes. For the highest central part, I collect combination with a few larger beads in the middle. This will also help to enhance the volume effect of the embroidery. I add short combinations of seed beads until the center of the thistle is filled. As a final touch, I add several ribbon pieces to the flower bottom. Once again, I switch the thread to the soft DMC cotton floss. It will make a smooth transition from the ribbon to the flower edge. Soft DMC thread blends nicely with the ribbon fibers. Numerous stitches will provide the firm joint and a smooth transition to the edge. Thistle is a very meaningful flower. It symbolizes retribution and Herculean task in Scotland, courage and protection in Europe and Central Asia, longevity and resilience in China. It was believed in Slavic culture that thistle protected against jinx, curses, and evil force. With the advent of Christianity, the thistle was inscribed as a symbol of suffering and martyrdom. Blue and yellow color symbolizes Ukrainian flag. In this horrific war, I stand with Ukraine.